Hi there everybody and welcome, and yes, I'm in front of the camera, and yes, it's been 3.5 months since the last video. Now 2018 didn't really end that well. A little bit of ill health, a couple of small surgical procedures, and the loss of Jake, my dog, sort of kept me well away from the bench. But we're into 2019 and it's time to look forward and not back. So what have we got installed for 2019? Well, we're going to go back to the barn build, get that completed. There is a couple of things that will be going on. To start off with, I'm working on building a vacuum chamber for my moulding. There will be a video concerning that, and how it turns out I don't know, because it's not completed yet. Also, in 2018 I purchased a CNC machine, which I've not had a chance to get out of the box, but I shall be doing that, an unboxing, a assembly, building a dust case to put it in for why it's doing the milling, and also working out the best sort of software to be used on it. Now, I've never had any experience with a CNC machine, so it's all going to be trial and error. So if it's something you're interested in, please tag along and watch it. Now, other bits and pieces that will be happening as well. As you may notice, that I'm still in the outside shed, but this is now being converted over to Surplus's storeroom. The simple reason is I was supposed to be moving into my room in the house, and I was supposed to have done that this time last year. Unfortunately, I had to give it over to my son, who was in between properties, and I didn't actually get the room back until September of last year, and then all the bits and pieces happened and nothing has actually happened. So it's going to be a big push to actually get this room done and finished. Now, the reason I need this room done and finished, for the simple reason is the rail build actually hinged round a build of a very large diorama in the actual room, and of course the rail build's been put on to hold, which I'm going to have to do something about and get that motivated up. Very remiss of me to actually sort of let it slip, but these things happen. So over the next month or so, it's going to be all pushed to get the room finished, so I can actually get started on the actual base. And like I say, it's a very big diorama. It's 2.4 meters by 600 wide. It's a marshalling yard with loads of flatbeds, which I'm going to use as a display area for all my German vehicles that I've made over the years, and they're all going to go on the flatbeds. So it's a diorama to display everything, should I say. There's going to be quite a few builds on that as well, because I do want to do some backdrops to the actual dioramas, sheds and buildings and different bits and pieces, which we will be building through the year. Also, I need to get back on to the barn build. Now, I will turn the camera around so you don't have to sit here and look at my ugly mush for too long. Look at something a little bit more interesting. As I said, something better than my ugly mush. Before we go any further, there was one bit I forgot to mention and thank people for the messages they sent me, and my apologies to some of you who I didn't actually get back to, but thank you for that, much appreciated. And now it's basically down to getting this build finished. This build needs, it's about 90% done. What it needs to be done now is the actual base needs to have half a dozen coats of paint and rubbed down vigorous times to get a nice finish. That's one of the smaller things. well, they're all small things that have got to be done now. Guttering to be put back on, and little bits of weathering here and there. Probably a few more bushes and twigs and bits and pieces to go in, just to get the whole thing finished. Now, the next big thing is the actual figures to go on this, because there is going to be a lot of figures. We've actually got, I've actually got German soldiers at rest, which when it comes around is going up in the top here. We're going to have some German figures all at rest above the actual top of the barn, with the mechanics and that working down below. Now, the figures, I've approached my good friend Bees Beasley, because Bees is a very good figure painter, and he said he would help me get some of these figures painted, because like I say, I'm not a fantastic figure painter. Bees is. Now, while we're on the subject of Bees, if you cast your mind back to last year, I actually did the house build, which went over to Bees Beasley. Now, Bees has completed that build. I'm going to put a link in the description box below, so you can go across and have a look at the final reveal. He has made an absolute beautiful job of it with all the figures. He's done, well, he's done all the figures, he's done all the weathering and everything on it, and it has turned out absolutely fantastic. That good, he's already entered it into his local competition, his local show, and he got first place, which is absolutely fantastic. And because he got first place there, it's actually going to Telford at the end of the year, which is even better. It's well worth a look. If you've already watched them videos earlier on, you can now see the finished items, so click on the link and go and have a look. So Bees is going to give me a hand to do all the figures, and I'm going to get on and get the lorry built that's going inside, and then it's going to be a matter of camouflage netting and different little bits and pieces just to get this finished, because I would like to be putting this into my show at the end of February. Hopefully we can get it all done and sorted out. So I will be doing videos, clips as I go along of all the bits and pieces I'm doing, so I can actually give you a video showing you what I've done and a final reveal of it. So that is coming up. Lots of other things coming up. I've got lots of other builds in mind. I'm not going to go into too much detail, because it's like everything else, I need to get these out of the way so I can get concentrating on other builds and other bits and pieces. And that's all coming up in the next month or so. So that is about as much as I can say, and like I say, I'm back and we're going to get on and we're going to get some work done. So all I can do now is say thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for sitting through this short video, but hopefully it just explains what's gone on and what's happening and in which direction we're going. So until the next video, until then.